This tree I'm sitting against here is called a Jatobá. It is a tree which is found in the Mata Atlântica and also in the Cerrado. Basically all over the state of Minas Gerais you can find Jatobá. The cool thing about the Jatobá is it makes these gigantic seed pods, and the meat inside here is edible. It's one of those deals, this is a pickup food that if you find one you're going to find 100, and the neat thing about the Jatobá is that it's loaded with sugar and carbohydrates, that is very starchy food in here. The problem with anything like this that falls onto the forest floor is they get invaded by bugs, and everything wants to eat these, including us. I've got a few here that I've already cracked open. This is one that looks bad. This is very typical. When you crack these open, you're going to find it's filled with like spider webs. There's a larva which makes a web as he crawls around and eats this, and that turns into a little beetle. There was a bunch of them walking around here, like a little weevil. And basically if they shake and you crack them open, you're going to find that they've been pretty much eaten. So I've separated, there's one of my little bugs. Oh, he's getting away. Basically I've separated the two piles here into the ones that shake and rattle and the ones that don't. So maybe these over here will be good. That one's filled with larvae, which Juliano actually eats. I have not tried those yet. This one here looks like it might be good. I've got to crack the rest of it open. But that's, you can tell right away when they're good and when they're bad. They look edible if they're good. So I'm going to set that one aside and keep going here. Okay, that one's definitely invaded. When you find a good one, they are a good meal. It looks like he's being eaten on the one end. There's a lot of good meat there. There's little weevils that are getting in there. That's what the larva turns into, this little bug. This one I just cracked open looks about perfect. That's all good Jatobá. Set that one aside in the eat pile. Oh, another nice one. Look at that. So that's what I mean. When you open one up and it looks like this, you can tell it's no good. When it looks like that, that's a nice fresh fruit. That right there is like a cookie. They are loaded with starch and loaded with sugar. They have a kind of an odd taste to them, but when you eat them, you realize right away, wow, this is pure energy. This is absolutely pure carbohydrate. They're very dry, very powdery in your mouth, and there's some big seeds in there. Yeah, the meat, when you eat it, it's a dry, powdery thing. It kind of like sucks up all your saliva, and it has a velvety kind of feel in your mouth. But they're very powdery and dry, so if you have something to drink, I had a bunch of these with my coffee this morning, and that was breakfast. Okay, that one's no good. There we go, nice one. Another Jatobá cookie. Okay, that one's no good. And that one's no good. So out of that big pile of Jatobá, I did get a few really nice ones. And that's really all you need. If you have a couple nice Jatobá, that's like having like a bowl of oatmeal or something. People take these and they mix it with milk, hot milk, and give it to their children. It's a very traditional forest food here in Minas Gerais. Now this one here I'm going to risk. This is eaten on the one end, and the other end it just seems fine, perfect. So,
give me that one. Let me try that one.
I was going to eat it. Let's take a. There you go.
Well, it's too edible. It's too edible.
The weevils hadn't got to that one.
Nope. We got there first.
Need something to drink with these.
enjoying your breakfast.
Is that filming?
Yep.
This whole time that's been filming?
Yeah, ever since I left.
Okay. So that is a perfect Jatobá right there. That's exactly what you're looking for. And I went through probably 2 dozen Jatobá, and we got like 3 or 4 that were actually good to eat. But they're free. You walk around and you just pick up a pile of them off the ground and crack them open, and then you have absolutely pure, gigantic nuggets of carbohydrates. It's like eating a cookie. Imagine being in a survival situation and all of a sudden someone comes up and just hands you a pile of cookies. It's just free food. It's a no-brainer.
All you need is a good baton to crack them open. There you go.
The containers themselves, the seed pods they come in, are loaded with oil. Many things are dry.
Yeah.
Once you get a pile of these, you can throw the seed pods in your fire. They burn really well. These are the cascas of the Jatobá. I should say that all in English. These are the shells of the Jatobá, which are burning. They have some kind of resin or oil in them, and they just really take off once you get them going. They might be a little bit hard to light, but they really, really burn. I'm kind of using them as fuel underneath my canteen cup there to cook my oatmeal water this morning. You can cut them open with like a Swiss Army knife, and you can use them as a container. You could put tinder in there, matches, whatever, seal it up. But the really cool thing is these are highly edible.
But listen, remember that the tree will produce a sap and a resin that can be used for fire making. It helps start up fires. It's another good use for the Jatobá tree here.
Check that out. There was no hole in the meat, but there's a hole in the actual seed.